Good morning, y'all. We'll be getting going in just a second. Production didn't want to give me a second. He said, "Yo, motherfucker, I gotta go. I'm going back to bed." He's not staying up, but you are. You're with us. AFC West. Ah, the pain. Go back and revisit the Kansas City Chiefs and the rest of the team. It's a money pot thing, man. Let's go. We don't. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Money Pot Podcast and Money Pot Betting. you know, you like the threads, baby, looking sharp, looking clean this morning. But we're talking football. Shout out to the Phils last night and then the Phils the other night before. Love watching this offense. It's ridiculous. But we're talking football. We're talking AFC West. Got to take a step back and revisit the Chiefs, how good they are. Are they going to repeat? How good are the Chargers? Now that Jacobs is signed, and the Raiders kind of back a little bit, and then the Denver Broncos. So we'll take a look at it all, and we'll bring it up. But first, before we get into our best bet, sponsor brought to you by Fan Up. Still the best way to make money in fantasy sports. Daily MLB and NFL contests will be coming. You still got the value, $50 value. You haven't signed up yet. Use A2D promo code for 50,000 points or $50. Make sure you guys check out Fan Out. You got to pay the bills first, right? Got to pay the bills first. And then, we'll get into the bets. So let's bring up our handy dandy sports book here and let's get right into it. Not going to keep you out here for long because I don't like going back into the past. I like moving forward. But we have to know where we came from to know where we're going, right? So let's bring it up. Let me minimize this a little bit here so we got some room. Now, they are across all divisions. This is our last division. Excuse me. Across all divisions, they are the highest, or well, the most odds to win their division. Ooh, FanDuel doesn't have it. I was gonna switch it up and do a little FanDuel, but looks like DraftKings might be the wave. Let me go back here. It's gonna do this live, and then with some new numbers. Let's see what it do. What's going on, everybody? Morning, everybody. Get a little coffee in you. There you go. All right. They were minus 80. Now with preseasons kind of hit and kind of go over, it might be a little bit different because I know yeah, they are still minus 180. So still minus 180. Favorites to win the division, charged by plus 300, Denver plus 600. I would switch the Raiders with Denver, especially with the Judy injury right now. They are going to be absolutely terrible. And we'll get into a best bet on Denver in a second here. But let's talk about the Chiefs. Now, this offensive line kind of returns. They did lose out on some offensive weapons, but I tell you this, guys, all the time. When you look at these division bets, it's always the quarterback and the head coach matchup. How does that marriage work? What does that look like? What is their success over time? And you really can't get no better than Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes right now. Two, both of them arguably could go down as the greatest at their position. Like, just arguably. Patrick Mahomes is changing the game, transcendent talent, once in a lifetime talent, and Andy changed the way that how people play offense in the NFL. Period. Bar none back in the Philadelphia Eagles days. Nobody was doing what Andy Reid was doing outside of the Philadelphia Eagles. The way he changed the West Coast offense and how they run it, it's just magical. And then he's having fun. Like, we were clamoring we were yelling at the heavens. Do something creative, Andy. Stop being so goddamn vanilla. And now he's got all kind of fun stuff in KC now. All he wants to do is, he wants to spread his wings a little bit in KC and have some fun with it. So, and then you have arguably, I think Shannon Sharp just came out and he just put Travis Kelce on, his Mount Rushmore of tight ends. So when you look at this team, potential Hall of Famers on the offensive side of the ball, The Chris Jones situation needs to get straightened out for them. But I mean, they do have some pass rushers. They got the kid from was it Iowa or Purdue? I think it was Iowa last year. George, I forget how you say his last name. But he had a decent year last year. They still have. I mean, Chris Jones is going to be back, so let's not get it twisted. There's a reason why they lead. Not they lead, but there's a reason why they're the favorites to win the division, and they're the favorites to repeat. And that just goes right into our segue into our poll question, right? Our poll question is pretty simple here. Will the Kansas City Chiefs repeat as Super Bowl champions? Agree or disagree? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, drop a line for me. Let me know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think they're going to repeat? And take the fanboy out of them, because I know this platform. I know where people are coming from. All over the world, we watch A2D, but the bases, HQ, home, the Eagles Nest, the Batcave, whatever you want to call it, is here in Philadelphia, and we are diehard Eagles fans and Philadelphia fans. But be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Take the fanboy out of it. Who is stopping the Chiefs? And we'll get into the record, and we'll get into the schedule for them. But at plus 600, you gotta like it. You gotta like the bet, man. 6-1. Nobody's stopping them in the AFC, right? Outside of an injury, right? Knock on wood, because I don't want anybody to get hurt. I want to see good football. I want to see competitive football. But outside of it, outside of injury, there's nobody in this AFC you would take over Kansas City to go. So you can't bet them in the division. The odds are too high, unless your bankroll allows you to put a lot of money on it. And if it doesn't, and you want to bet small to win big, you have to go with the Kansas City Chiefs to come back. They've been in 3 Super Bowls out of the last 4. Folks, people, my ninjas out there. They are a dynasty. We are in the midst of a Kansas City dynasty. We are. And they're just going to keep recycling, keep that offensive line, keep pass rushers. As long as you've got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid manning the ship as pilot and co-pilot, or vice versa, or 2 co-pilots or 2 pilots, whatever you want to call it, they are going to be in the dance. They just are. There's nobody in the AFC who's going to touch them. Nobody. You can argue the Bengals, right? But I don't like Joe Burrow going into this year with an injury, right? And Joe has a winning record. They've won in KC before. Yo, man, but when it comes down to it, when it comes to the end, when it comes to the game to make the next leap, who wins? I'm not mad at the Cincinnati bet. I just don't like that Joe Burrow's hurt going into the year. It's a long season. But let's look at this, because they're over and under is 11.5. But let's look at this Kansas City schedule real quick here. Morning, everybody. Morning, everybody. Call me a homer. I don't care. Yo, man, I get it, bro. We're gonna see, right? Because it's not like we don't see them in the regular season. Oh, that'd be a hell of a game to go to, wouldn't it? All right, let's look at Kansas City here. Oh man, I'm tired of seeing KC. I'm tired of seeing this goddamn logo. I'm just gonna tell you right there. It hurts me to do this, but I want to make people money. I want to make people money. All right, let's go through it. Let's see. Can we find a loss? Help me find a loss in this schedule. All right. When can y'all see that? Let me zoom in just a little bit. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There we go. I just want to make sure y'all can see that a little bit. My son is streaming like 8 things at once right now, so Apologize for any networking thing we got going on. Shit is ridiculous. What the hell is wrong with this kid, man? Fucking kid. Oh man. All right. So Detroit. Going to be a tough game. It's at home though. Gotta like KC. Win. At Jacksonville. A lot of revenge on this game, right? At Jacksonville. Jacksonville felt like they should have won that game, obviously in the playoffs, but they didn't. We'll see about this game. This is going to be a tough game. This could be potential loss here. Wouldn't surprise me, right? But I forget what's Andy Reid against his assistants. Like you have to look at like certain patterns, and it's it's ridiculous, man. He's lost maybe twice out of like 11 times he's faced them. So give me a win. Like Chicago, but win. New York's not there yet. Win. Minnesota, win. Denver, win. Win. London game. Anything could happen. Just two will play. Not sure. This could be a tough game, but give me a win. Woo! Circle this motherfucker on Monday night. NKC against Philly. All eyes. You know, this storyline is so goddamn perfect of how they put these schedules together, bro. Think about it. Now, a lot of people say that our schedule is tough, which it is. But I could really see a scenario where both teams are undefeated for Monday Night Football going into Thanksgiving week. Andy coming off a bye. Both quarterbacks are in the MVP race. Both offenses are humming. Defenses are good. The supremacy, you could see the storyline, or I'm making the storyline for you, and you can see it playing out in your head. Super Bowl rematch in KC. This is going to be nuts of a game. This is the potential loss. So I see 3 potential losses on this schedule. Jacksonville early on, Philadelphia at home, and Cincinnati late, where they could already have everything kind of bottled up and we're good to go. So I don't think they'll go undefeated, but they're over and under 11.5 in terms of record. I mean, they're going to be 14-3 at least. Like I don't see 4 losses on this schedule. I just don't. Because the games that we're talking about are like swing games too. Like they could go either way. Either way, it's not like, oh, this is a loss. You know what I mean? I don't like facing Andy off a bye. We all know what that looks like, right? Give Andy Reid 2 weeks, a lot of film to make this work. Don't like that at all. So, but late with with Cincinnati, I don't think Buffalo's going to be as good as people think they are. And then that early Jacksonville game where teams are still trying to figure it out. Because there's a reason why Patrick Mahomes played in the preseason. It's because he has new receivers, somewhat of a makeshift kind of offensive line. They need to get continuity going. But by this time, by week 10, they got to figure it out for sure. So this is a tough game for the Eagles, I think. I'm not sure who the Eagles play beforehand, but definitely could be a look-ahead spot on the Eagles' schedule with them playing at Arrowhead in KC Super Bowl rematch. A lot of storylines coming out of that for sure. So with that being said, I already have a bet with the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, but it's hard for me to disagree with this poll question. Really is. It's hard for me to disagree with this poll question. I think you have to agree here to the poll question from a betting perspective, everybody. From a betting perspective, I think you have to agree to the poll question. That it's pretty likely that the Super Bowl Chiefs will. Let me just take it down because I'm tired of saying it. I'm fucking tired of saying it, man. Tired of saying it. What's going on, Marcus? Moss, don't disrespect my Bengals, please. I'm not disrespecting them, bro. I'm not. I just don't like that Burrow's hurt early. I think that's a lingering. You already know. You know, that's that. I've never had a calf injury, right, in football. I've been blessed to really not be sick. Well, no, I tore my ACL, but ever since then, I've been blessed not to have like those lingering issues and never pull like a quad or a shoulder or a hammy or anything like that when I played. I don't think that uh, I don't like the fact like he needs to sit. Like he needs to sit. Like especially if they can go like 2-2, Burrow needs to sit. They need to be ready. They need to be ready. Hey, brother, I disagree. What's up, Mike? Chrome, I'm taking the field here. Eh, I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at anybody taking the field, but you just got to understand it's just like nobody's going to challenge them in the AFC. That's the problem. You know what I mean? That's the problem. Nobody's like you put KC against anybody in KC in the playoffs. You're not betting against KC. You know what I mean? Like you're doing it to go against everybody else, but you know in your head like, I'm on the fence here, just a little bit, just a little bit. All right, let's get back into the bets. Talking too much. Enough of this KC fanboy bullshit. Let's uncheck that. All right, let's go to the rest of the division. Let's look at the win totals here. Now we already talked about how I think they're going to win 13 or 14 games. Outside of some bearing injury here, I think they're going to win 13 or 14 games. So it's no surprise that they're at the top here at minus 420 in terms of parlays. Looking at the straight bet for KC, it's probably went up a little bit since it's minus 134. I don't know if you want to do that or not. Your bankroll has to allow it. So like I said, when we do these bets, these are season long bets. So these bets are only like, if you're only betting $100, you're waiting 17 games to win $74. So let's try to find a little bit more value, right? And we can't parlay these either. I don't remember you can. I don't think you can parlay the. Yeah, you can't parlay these. So these are for my guys who got decent bank rolls. Now alternate win totals. Let's just see where they are. See if we get some value here. Over 12 wins plus 145. That's a lot of wins. 13-4. I can see it. You know what I mean? 13-4. 14-3 sounds a lot better. A plus 260. I don't. Yeah, they do got some tough schedules. So yeah, I don't think I have a bet here outside of them winning the AFC. Let's see where they are for the AFC conference. Yeah, outside of them, this bet right here, a plus 350. I'm not bet. For the sake of the poll question, it's the right bet to make. And I agree, their odds of winning the Super Bowl are probably really high. Again, but their odds of winning the AFC Championship is even probably higher. I like the 3-1 bet. So if I'm betting anything KC right now, we'll go first best bet KC AFC Championship winner plus 3.5 to win it. If you want to marry it with the Eagles, because that's how you feel, I mean, there's your parlay, right? There's your 2-leg parlay, 18-35, almost 20-1 to win this one. But what I would do, let's see. If you're going to bet that, I wonder what the odds are for them to go back to the Super Bowl. It's got to be. Let me see. Cincinnati, Denver, Houston, Colts, Jags, KC. Yeah, about the same. 18-1, right? Right. That's where you would go. This is very likely to happen too. So you can wait for this one. Bet small, win big. $50 to win your 900. That's okay to do that, right? A rematch of the Super Bowl. I'm not sure how many times this has happened in the history of the Super Bowl, but it's a very, very likely scenario, right? Very likely scenario, and worth a shot to throw a dart at the board to get you 900, or if you got a little bit more, you like it, hit 75 when you're over 1300. So it's a solid, it's a decent bet, pretty decent bet, pretty decent bet. All right, so let's go to the other folks in this division. Now we did talk about how Josh Jacobs is back, right? He signed a 1 year tenure for 12 million. Running backs are getting killed. So let's look at their over and under. Now the problem with him, not the problem with him signing, is that he's going to be making business decisions out there, right? Because he has no long term future. So he's going to be play. Um, so I'm not sure if that is the if his odds have changed. So with 6.5, it's always been 6.5. Now with Jacobs, I think this is you could find a bet here because this number was out before Jacobs was signed, so you didn't know what was going to happen. And like I said, he'll make some business decisions when he's running the ball, whether to get down, whether to fight for that extra yard. Like these boys already know, and they already know that if there's no nugget at the end of the rainbow for them to get paid, they're not putting their body and their likelihood and their livelihood on the line for people who don't want to pay them. Now, us at the bottom of the total pole, I'm like, yo, $12 million is a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But in your respected position and your respected field of employment, they're getting severely underpaid for what they do. Especially, they're talking about adding more games. Come on, man. Like, these boys need to get paid. So, with that being said, over 6.5 wins with Jimmy Garoppolo. That defense is solid with Max Crosby. I know they have Marcus Peters. They got the guy from Maryland in the draft, Banks. They got another D lineman or offensive. I think it was a D lineman, Brian Young from Bama. Couple guys from the Patriots days. I think Austin Hooper. Josh McDaniels is over there. Finally has a quarterback who knows the system, who can run it. Obviously got the star in Devontae Adams. I can't find a bet here, but if any bet, if you want to do on the Raiders, I would lean over here. I think they'll be at least an average team, 7-10, maybe even find a 8-9 win here. Tough division, right? You play KC twice. You got to go to Denver, which is tough to play in, and you place the Chargers twice as well. So, and can Jimmy stay healthy, right? Garoppolo's always getting hurt, so I'm sure that's baked in. So this is a no bet here for me. I don't have any bets on the Raiders outside of maybe betting something with Devontae Adams. But other than that, I think they'll be a middle pack team. Got to see how this plays out. Preseason helps to know what depth they are, but the starters don't play. So you really don't know what they're going to be. And it's not like before, obviously, where you saw the starters play and kind of get a sense of what this offense is going to be. But we just don't know what they're going to be and what they're going to look like. But the first step was getting Jacob signed, which is a good thing. Get him in some ball shape and, see how they start off the season going on. Let's go right below here. Man. Let's go to the Chargers. Over 9.5 wins. Now, everybody's so high on Justin Herbert. And I am too. The numbers speak to his talent level. But I just don't know, man. There's something missing with him to me. Like there really is. And they have a pocket of somewhat issues too. Now he's got a offense that people would dream about. You got Austin Eckler, who, is probably going to be making business decisions himself too. You got Keenan Allen, you got Mike Williams, you got the rookie from TCU, Quentin Johnson. Everett is a decent tight end. They got Kellen Moore coming over from Dallas. The question with Staley is that head coach, man, with the Chargers. Head coach makes bad decisions. Bad decisions. So I don't know. Yeah, it's tough, man. 9-5. Let's bring up the schedule. let's take a look at the schedule and to see if we can find a couple losses here, to see if we can get a bet here. Like a lot of these bets are going to be tough because we want to bet small and win big. So we'll get into some more of those type of bets here shortly. But we have to break it down per team, per schedule, in the division first, and then see if there's any value there. And there's no value, then we move on. That's just the way you got to bet. But and that defense is pretty solid too, right? They got Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa is going to should be healthy, Darwin James. So this team has a lot of name guys and stars who are proven in the league. But for whatever reason, they just can't get over a hump. Is that head coaching? That's why I say something's missing from Herbert. Like to me, something's missing from this team. So let's look at the schedule. Can we find what was their over and under? 9.5. So 10 wins. Can we find 7 losses here? Like 8 at KC's probably a loss. I think this is tough here when you think about it. This is a tough slate, and I'm gonna tell you why this is a tough slate. When it starts with KC, this is travel issues, right? You're traveling across the country against a division foe, KC. Come back home for Chicago, then go back across the country again and face the Jets at New York. Then come back home for Detroit, and then go back again Midwest in Wisconsin, then come back for Baltimore, then go back again for New England and Boston, and then come back for Denver. This is going to be tough. This from week 7 all the way to week 13, traveling back and forth, between now. Their away games are all, except for these two, they're all earlier games at Green Bay, at New England. But that's going to be tough. And they don't have a homestand. If you look at their schedule, I would say their schedule's tough, right? Home, away, home, away, home, away, home, away, all the way through to the end. And then you got what? Out of your last 5 games, you have 4 of them in the division: Denver, Vegas, Denver, and at KC at the end to end it all. Man, that's tough. That's just a tough schedule to even call. Over 9.5 wins, going 10-7. What's the under on that? They look like a 9-18 plus 104. It's already baked in for them to go under. Do they get the 10 wins? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. That's tough. It's got to be a no bet. Got to be a no bet here as well. Can't bet this one. Can't bet this one. All right, let's go back. Having a tough time finding bets in this division. Having a tough time finding bets in this division right now. All right. Did I share this screen again? My bad, y'all. Where am I? I shared the wrong screen. My fault. Got to go back to the bets, man. Got to go back to the bets. I agree. The Jets may be better than expected. I do agree that. I do agree there. I think the Jets are going to be pretty solid, and it's because their defense is good, man. Like their defense is good, real good, and he's got some young stars with some pop. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's the energy level for the Jets for me, right? They got young dogs that are hungry, and they finally got a quarterback who's been there before who can do it. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Makes a lot of sense to me. All right, let's go to the last team in this division. Denver Broncos over 8.5 wins. Now with Judy out, this is going to be my second best bet. We're going under here. Actually, they might be horrific. Let me go Yeah, they're not gonna get the 10 wins. It's at 8.5. Yeah. I can't pull the trigger on here. Sean Payton's a somewhat of a decent coach. He might be able to get Russell back. Defense is somewhat solid. So we'll see what but culture change takes a long time. Might take a year or two, probably 2 years. Um, so yeah, I think I'll stick to here. Second best bet is under 8.5 wins for the Denver Broncos. You got to throw a couple on here. At least 3 to 4 units on here. So probably be like a $400 bet for me. Um, gotta like this bet here. I don't think Denver's gonna be that good. And with Judy, like I said again, with Judy being out their main target, he's gonna have trouble get the ball out. Now Javante Adams is there. Um, they do have somewhat of a decent roster, kind of. I'm trying to think like for fantasy purposes, right? Ah, um, sorry, my wife just came down. Judy's out. They got Marlon Mims. Probably is going to take a step up for fantasy purposes. Cortland Sutton. But outside of that, they got guys that are unproven, man. They don't got really nobody behind there. So they're going to be running the ball. But they got Frank Clark. Um, Browning is a good, Surtain is a really good corner. Randy Gregory, if he can stay straight, is another good linebacker. Playing in Denver and Mile High Stadium is not the easiest thing to do. So they got some guys here who can do some stuff, but I'm not a believer here. And I'm looking at their schedule real quick here. You could probably find 10 losses here. I mean, listen. They play Miami, Chicago, New York, Kansas City, Green Bay, and like they could really start out. What's that? 8 games, 3-5. At Chicago ain't gonna be no cakewalk. They might lose that game, and then right off the bye they have Buffalo, Minnesota, Cleveland. This is not gonna be a good team. Let me go back to that. Let me go back to that under 7.5. I think I can find that bet. I like the 8.5, but I want a little bit more value. I think they're a 7-win team. I like this better. We're gonna switch that bet. It's going to be under 7.5 at plus 140. Second best bet, Denver Broncos under 7.5 at plus 140. 400 to win you 560. I really like that bet. Can I? Let me see. Can I parlay this? No, you can't parlay it. All right. So as a straight bet, under 7.5 wins, plus 140. Denver Bronco, second best bet. All right. Now that we got some of the regular bets out the way, let's go to some props. Let's see if we can find some parlays to play with. And let's see what we can do to make it do. So every division I do a receiving prop bet. I think that it makes a lot of sense to have fun with these. For my bet small, win big, folks. We all want that scratchy ticket, right? Where it's betting $50 to win, like, you know, I'll take 3 grand, right? They don't have to be like 10, 15. Right. I'll take a $50 bet to win 3 grand. So some players in this division here. We got, where's Devontae? Is Devontae up here? Oh, they didn't put Devontae up here. Wow. Keenan Allen. So the word on the street that Keenan Allen's been that guy over in camp with the Kellen Moore. Keenan Allen's been really um they're using him almost like Cooper Kupp would, supposedly in the slot. So that says big year. The only problem with Keenan Allen is like, can he stay healthy? Like that's the problem with Keenan Allen. So let's see in this division. So obviously Demonte should get over 1,000 yards. Let me see. So they locked out Judy. which makes sense. If we do Keenan Allen here, let's see, did they add anybody? Can we find a bet for Cortland Sutton in Denver? I don't think so. Who you guys like in this division? Now we might have to tag on somebody else's division, right? Because Devontae's going to get his for sure. You know what I mean? Devontae's going to be for sure. I don't know, man. I don't like when I do parlays, man. They gotta pay, right? Like they do gotta pay. Like I don't like. I'm not a big parlay guy. I only bet like 2 to 3 leggers, right? There's my parlays. So because anything over getting back more than your money, like status quo. You go to the casino. If you walk in that motherfucker 100, you put it in a slot machine or whatever you want to play. You put it on black. Always bet on black, of course. You put it on black on the roulette table and you win and you double up. Get the hell out of Dodge. That's the quota. Don't think like, oh, this is it. You know what I mean? This is it. This here we come. We about to run. We about to run it up. That's where the gambling part comes in. But if you go in and double your money, it doesn't matter if it take you 5 minutes or it takes you 5 hours. Get out. That's the key. That's where people get lost because they're chasing the bag. And I get it. It's fun. It's chasing the bag. But, come on, man. I don't know. I forgot about Trav. Forgot about Travis. Travis will get his. Travis has had 1,000 yards for over like the last like 3 years. Where's uh Tony? He's not even on here. Kadarius Tony from KC. I think he could have a really decent year. So almost 4-1 for I guess your name guys, the Devontae Adams, the Travis Kelce's. You're kind of hoping Keenan gets there, but they got a lot of mouths to feed over in the Chargers. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't know. I don't know, man. 4-1. Can we? I feel like we can get a 10-1 play here. All right, let's take Keenan Allen. Let's play with it a little bit. Let's take Keenan Allen off. We got Devontae Adams and Kelsey. It's crazy that DeAndre Hopkins is plus 140. Is that like injury baked in? Yeah, Garrett Wilson's going to have a year. I do believe that. I do believe Garrett Wilson's going to have a year. So without Judy, Cortland Sutton is going to be the guy. What did Cortland Sutton do last year? Penn State guy, right? If I'm not mistaken. Don't know who that guy is. Really, Chiefs only team to finish under 500? Wow. Catching up on y'all, man. Catching up on the things. Greg, what up, bro? Everybody, everybody, everybody said everybody disagreed to the poll. You know what I mean? Everybody disagreed to the poll, man. Y'all Eagle fanboys, I love it. I'm not mad at you. I'm sorry I had to do it. I'm sorry I had to bring up the Chiefs. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Oh, Hamler is the PS, the Penn State guy. Sutton's an S. Okay, my bad. Appreciate you. So what did Sutton do last year, though? I just want to see what he did last year. He had 829 yards, though. Okay. I know Hamler's down. Oh, can we find? Is there value in Sutton here? Plus 420? Oh shit! Let me see. Let me see. I mean, he's going to be number one. Right? He's going to be number one. He's going to be kind of number one guy. Has he ever? I don't think he's ever broke 1,000. Coming out party? He has broke 1,000 before. His second year. Then he got hurt. Then he wasn't shit for the last two. 2019, he had 1,100 yards. So it's in there. 2 tiers in the bucket. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's go. It's still not enough. There's a gamble. This is on pure Judy being hurt. Right? Pure Judy being hurt. And the odds hasn't caught up. Cortland Sutton to get 1,000 yards. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best bet in the world. Obviously, you got the two that you feel comfortable with, obviously with Kelsey and Adams. This is a shot in the dark. Shot in the dark. Get Cortland Sutton up there. Judy's hurt. Mims is a rookie. They don't really have anybody else to throw to by default. Cortland Sutton should be the guy. Should be the guy. Let me see. Let's if we add Allen back to it. I mean, there's only so many people who can get over 1,000 yards, right? I think it was like wasn't that many because Judy didn't even do it last year. Oh man, that's a gamble. That's a gamble on that play. That is a gamble. All right, let's see if we can find one more bet, and then we'll get everybody out of here. We will do. Since we did all AFC, today was the last day. We'll do division winners of the AFC parlay. We'll go the Chiefs here. So much has changed since I looked at this because of the injuries, right? Who won the divisions last year? Let's just see real quick. Who won the divisions last year? We'll do standings real quick. A little AFC magic here. So Bills won last year. Jacksonville won last year. Bengals and KC. All right. So I'm going on a limb here. I like the Titans to be a surprise win in the South. I do. I think this team is better than what people think they'll be. So I like the Titans here as a potential winner. In the North. Well, let's go to East. I don't know this division. I can't guess this division here. I'm going to leave them out. And we'll take another shot in the dark. Ooh. These divisions are hard now. Give me New York. Am I on the Jets hype train? Or is it still just the Jets? Miami's good when Tua plays. No, Buffalo is just going to be Buffalo. They can run the ball. They'll be good. This defense is legit, though. It's not bad. 21 to 20 to 1. KC, Titans, and the Jets. Switch it up a little bit. Oh, honestly, because these are too tough. Kind of like this one. I do like Tennessee to win that division, to be honest. I think the Jacksonville Jags are gonna be good, but I think Tennessee's gonna be better than what people think. They're well coached. Good run game, obviously. Hopkins changes that offense to me. You just can't put nine in the box anymore, and their defense is always good. They're always a tough out, and they barely won a division last year. The Jags. I just don't believe in Lawrence as everybody else does. So I like this bet right here. I'll take this bet. Hey, if you want to add the Eagles in there too, get you over 10-1. That's a decent bet right here. KC, Eagles, Tennessee Titans, division parlay, 10-1 odds. You know, 75 when you're 890. I mean 819. Lock it in. I like that play. Now we got all the divisions done. If you haven't watched all the divisions, just take a step back, go back to A2D radio, look at all the division, look at all our bets. I will release what the bets are for the year so you can keep me honest. Um, keep me honest. If you haven't followed me on Twitter or even my YouTube channel, go ahead and follow me at Money Pot Betting or Money Pot Podcast. We had a hell of a day on baseball. I got more baseball bets today. That is the divisions that we have all set. I'll go back and make sure I got all my bets right and all the ones that might have kind of tweaked since preseason. Make sure you guys are tuning in each and every week. A lot of shows on the lineup for A2D Radio. But for me, this is Moss Money. This is Money Pot Podcast, Money Pot Betting. I'm out.